Well, it's fairly late at night. Well, feels late anyway. Been on the thing. I wanted to tell Si the news before I told anyone else, before I put the video out. We had a good talk, and it was so good to listen to each other and to take that time, because we'd not spoke since the argument or to do when someone was deciding that they would send him messages or something or other and saying I was bad mouthing him, which I wasn't. And we seemed to have spoken about stuff, and it was so refreshing to be able to say to each other, you know, we still do love each other, we care about each other so deeply. We both not perfect, and I screwed up in many ways, he screwed up in many ways, and as a relationship, as a partnership, we both wanted it to work, but it didn't, and we weren't able to pull it off. We weren't able to communicate and stuff to be able to get through that. But as much as the relationship didn't work for a long-term thing, we've had virtually 4 years of being there, supporting each other, and holding space for each other, and just being able to do stuff, you know. I've had some amazing memories. I've had some amazing times where we've just been with each other and shared so many sights, so many adventures, met so many people, travelled so many miles. We've experienced so many fun, positive, loving, shared experiences. We've made memories that will last a lifetime. He gave me, it's been an emotional day, but he gave me space to heal. He gave me friendship that no one else had ever given me before. And he was there doing stuff. Yeah, he did it from his own perspective, but he was still there doing stuff and trying to keep everything going so I could get right, because I was suffering from bad depression. I suppose all depression's not so clever, you know? But he was there holding my hand when no one else did, and he listened. I'm sure we didn't get things right all the time. Sure, he had his ways of doing things, I had my ways of doing things, but that's genuinely how it were. And we still love each other deeply. As much as it won't work as a relationship, we still care for each other. And, you know, he never beat me. He never went out of his way to consciously upset me or anything. And a lot of my problems, in fact, I must say, pretty much every single problem that I have is going to be from within me. I have no answers, only that I know that all I can do is work on myself, and others can do is work on themselves, and that's that, you know. But the problems that I've seen, sorry, I'm getting all these messages, I don't know who from, but the problems that I have seen, that I perceived, that I experienced, the way that I saw the world, is built up on the masses of experiences that I have had and all the things that I have done in my life, that, you know, human negativity bias, a lot of them, like, had chronic PTSD, as well as like severe depression. You know, as well as all the stroke things and all the anxiety, I had terrible panic attacks. And he used to sit there and be there for me throughout those times. So yeah, it wasn't easy, and times were difficult, and I really struggled, and he really struggled too. And as friends, we're cool, and as lovers, it just wasn't happening. But that's because of where we were at the time. It's because of experiences previously, you know. But I sure as shit don't want people thinking, and not that I've got any, like, responsibility for anyone else's behaviour but my own. But from me, from my perspective, I'm just putting it out there that he was good when he was good. And a lot of the trouble, it's my perception of what happened. It's me that struggled. It's me that he struggled too. But, you know, some of it is my fault. And really, I take 100% responsibility for me, and I struggled in the environment. But you can't, just because I struggled in the environment does not mean that I struggled in an environment and it was his fault. I struggled in the environment because of all the other issues that I'd ever been with leading up to that very moment where I'd have a panic attack or an anxiety attack or whatever. And I don't want people thinking that either of us think we're perfect, because we're not. But he was good with me, and he did care, and he always did try his best. I believe that. He tried his best to take care of me the best way that he knew how. And it's devastating that we couldn't make it work, that I couldn't continue at HIMSA, that our lives together had to finish, because that was where I struggled thinking that that's my home. I wanted it to be my home. I wanted to feel like it was my home, but it didn't. And that was me and my perception of things, and my past, and my attachment, and my abandonment issues, and so many things that come into play when you're dealing with life, the universe, and all that stuff, you know. And I worked on myself, and he worked on himself, but we ended up not being able to achieve what we wanted to. Neither of us managed to fully explain ourselves, like just discuss things with each other like you'd imagine a couple should do. Our communication was shite. But that, communication takes two. And I needed to learn communication. Just, I can't say, well, I can say, but it wouldn't be true to not take any responsibility. It's, if there's a communication issue, there's two of us that are trying to communicate. And I don't know, I'm hoping that one of the things that I do learn now and with this new opportunity is how to communicate properly, because I really want to have a future where I am enough, where I am useful and heard and valued and accepted for me, and my skills and my knowledge and my abilities are utilised. And my issues with those things when I was at Ahimsa, I did feel like things weren't happening and stuff. But that's also perception, it's also memories, it's it's so deep, there's so much to learn, there's so much to contemplate, there's so much to work with there. And whichever way you look at it, it ended. And that chapter of my life had to finish. I wouldn't want life without the friendship. Because as friends, we were really cool friends and we did support one another's journeys. But not, as lovers, we didn't communicate well enough to be able to meet each other's needs, to hear each other out, to be able to do what was needed. So anyway, I hope I've put it straight and that people know that in life there's always more than one side to a story, and in life, it's not for anyone to judge or assume, because only we were there, and even we didn't really have much idea of what goes on the conscious and subconscious levels and stuff. I hope that things get straightened out more and we can both go on to have positive friendships and be able to just get on and do stuff, So that's me, I guess, for today. Total amazingly emotional day with fantastic news and talks with Si, and I'm just gonna snuggle up with little Batty, who's already in bed asleep, and try and get a decent night's kip now. Okay. Well, tomorrow's a new day. Night, folks.